We are wrapping up our time here in North Africa. This is not our first time in the Muslim world, but we felt more equipped this time. One of the things that we realize is discipleship actually starts with relationship. So it's not the moment of salvation here because the people that are here, when they decide to give their lives to Jesus and turn their back on their Muslim culture, they're giving up everything. They could lose their jobs. They will probably lose their families. They lose their friends. They completely go into this isolation once they have done that. In order for them to step into a relationship with Jesus Christ, they need to know that they're going to have relationships that are going to be there to walk with them. They're not just going to completely give their lives to Christ the moment they hear the good news. They're definitely interested in it and they want to learn more and they ask more questions, as we have found out here, but they're just not ready to jump all in yet because of everything that they are going to lose. And so that takes time, and there's a lot of grace for that. The culture of particularly this part of the world is all about the importance of family and about relationships. And so they need to know that even though they can't see Jesus physically, that there is somebody that's going to be with them to walk with them. Tom is going to talk a little bit about our strategy for here and what we've really been doing these 3 weeks that we have been here.
One of our contacts sat down with us for 5 days in a row when we first got here, and he taught us a little bit about the culture and a little bit about how to reach the people here. It's really relational, and you can't just come in here and expect to beat people over the head with your beliefs because they're taught their whole lives to believe this way, to believe in the Muslim faith. It's okay to take time to get to know somebody and to build a relationship, and then little by little you can share some of your testimony. You can kind of share what Jesus has done in your life, and through that, only the Holy Spirit can move hearts. God and Jesus are the only ones who can move hearts. So our goal here in North Africa is to continue to meet with people and build those relationships and unveil a little bit more about ourselves and what God has done in our lives, with the hopes of them one day receiving Jesus as their Lord and Savior. It's been very encouraging for me coming out of the Middle East, just kind of being discouraged over there. I learned here what it is to build a relationship with someone of the Muslim faith, and we've actually done that here. We've been successful. Been a lot of seeds planted in this country by our team, and we're very grateful for.
We've had people invite us into their homes and prepare meals for us. People that we met on the street or people who may have been our taxi drivers. Mm-hmm. We've made relationships with people that we were just playing basketball or soccer with, people that we just struck up conversations with at cafes. There's a lot of ways that we have been able to build relationships with people while we have been here. And it's been so easy because this is a relational culture. We've really enjoyed not only getting to know these people, but even getting to know like their faith. We have this thing we call a bottom line. Mm-hmm. And what that is the top line is like, we're here as tourists visiting your country, sightseeing, but bottom line is we're followers of Jesus. So when they find that out, they ask us, why do you believe what you believe? And we are able to give an explanation for why we believe. And then we ask them why they believe. And a lot of them don't really know. They're like, I actually haven't really thought about that. It's just what they teach us here. Mm-hmm. Even though they claim to be Muslim and they pray and they perform the rituals, they don't understand why they are Muslim. One of the things that's been very interesting is talking to them about God. They believe in one God, a monotheistic view of God, and that He is Allah. We also, as Christians, have a monotheistic view of God, but we see Him as three persons in one. However, the Quran teaches them that we worship three different gods. And so we've been able to really explain what that looks like. There's only one God, but He has three different roles, kind of like I am a wife and a sister and a daughter. And so I have different roles, even though I am the same person. That has been really good with talking to people, and it's actually opened the door for us to talk a little bit more in some cases with people about our faith.
As far as the three roles that Rachel's talking about, it was very interesting to see their reaction to that. Just very curious. They honestly knew nothing about what she was talking about. The people here are very receptive to new beliefs and to new ideas, not very closed off, the ones that we've come in contact with. It's been very encouraging.
One of the things that we were supposed to look out for is this person they call a person of peace.
Person of peace is someone who will receive me, receive my message, and be willing to refer me to someone else.
We start out by sharing we're just here as tourists and we're just checking out the culture. And then sometimes we're able to get to the bottom line, which is where you say that you are a follower of Jesus. And this person of peace would then still receive you as a follower of Jesus.
The message would be sharing the gospel of the good news of Jesus, and they would be receptive in that situation to acknowledge what we are talking about.
Yeah, and if they don't want to know more, that's fine. We can still continue a relationship with them. But if we think it's going to go nowhere, then it's okay to just walk away from that. That was one of the things that they taught us. So we did have some relationships that we continued to invest in. We really felt like it was a person of peace.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had relationships where we felt like we needed to walk away because there were things happening that just weren't really good and it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and part of the reason we felt okay and we were kind of taught that it's okay to walk away is because there's roughly only 10,000 Christians here and
in the whole nation.
And so it would take each Christian sharing the gospel about 4,000 people to be able to reach everybody. So you can't spend too much time in one place, although there are relationships that we feel we need to continue with. Some were okay to walk away, and which we did.
So now that we're getting ready to leave, the people of peace that have received our message and we believe that it's going somewhere, we're referring them to the people who trained us here. Mm-hmm. God brought us here basically to continue to network for them because they will continue out those relationships. For those that may not have received the message yet, it's okay. We're still going to continue to talk to them on WhatsApp and continue to develop relationships with them, just like we did in other Arab nations that we've been to. And once they do decide to receive that message, then we can pass them along to the Christians that are here in this nation. Well, that's a lot of people mm-hmm. to talk to. And not every one of those is going to receive the message, but we can help find the ones that will.
Everything is done with intention. Everything is done with a strategy behind it. And at the end of the day, it's all about reaching souls for Jesus. Yeah, part of what's been important to us here is knowing that not everybody's going to receive the message, but we're being obedient to sharing the message, and we are able to pray for those who have received the message or might, or even the ones that haven't. We can still know how to pray for them, which is important.
Another strategy that God has given is the importance of praying. Particularly, I felt the Lord tell me just to go out and just start doing a prayer walk. So he'll give me a location to go, and I'll go to that location and I'll begin praying things that he would give me for this nation and for the Arab world. And then all of a sudden someone would come up and start talking to me out of nowhere. It's actually been really good to talk to people in that way as well, because then the Lord brings the people that are already ready to maybe hear us to share for them. With this prayer strategy, it's been interesting. One of the things that we found out here is that the king of this particular nation we're in is actually very sick. He's been sick for a couple of years, and he's been giving his son more responsibility. We've been praying into that a lot. God has been giving us strategy for that. There was a day that we felt led to go up to this certain location, which is where the Mediterranean and the Atlantic meet together. And we just felt very led to connect in prayer to that location, because that is like an entry to so many places throughout the world that are unreached, are in that 1040 window. And then just up in Europe, north of the Mediterranean, places that have been severely hurt by the church. We have had really great opportunities as well to pray strategic prayers in this particular nation. It's known as the California of the Arab world. It can be a nation where a revival can take place and it can just sweep across northern Africa and into the Middle East. But not only that, it can sweep up into Spain and to the rest of Europe. We just have great hopes for what is in the works right now in those spiritual places. We believe that this nation will be saved, and the people are definitely very receptive to hearing why we believe what we believe. This wraps up our time on our assignment to Spain and North Africa. It has really been eye-opening for both Tom and I. And we've really just begun to see God's heart for people, for Gen Z in these nations, but not only that, for our own generations. We are looking forward to sharing more with you guys about what we feel the Lord is stirring in us, and we're really excited. We have been going now through 2.5 years of training almost, and so we're ready. We believe that in 2026 we're finally going to land somewhere, and that we're going to be able to just plow the ground and hit the ground running with all of this great training that we have been able to have. So we really want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for helping us get to the place that we are today. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. You guys are just as much a part of this as we are. And we thank you for trusting us, for being able to send us. And we really look forward to seeing what is next for us and partnering with you more in this wonderful call and plan that God has for this part of the world and for all the nations of the world. So thank you for everything that you have done for us.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Bye.